All right, over the next few minutes, we're going to dive into the playbook for strategic writing. We'll look at how to take your everyday emails, your posts, all of it, and turn them into these really powerful tools that don't just get a message across, but actually build real, genuine connections. So, let's get right into it.
First things first, just a quick gut check. I want you to think about the last important email you sent, or maybe a report you wrote. Did it really, truly connect with the person reading it? Or did it just, show up in their inbox? There's a huge difference.
And that right there, that's the core idea we're going to unpack. See, effective communication, it's not just about the what, the facts, the data, it's all about the how, the voice, the style, the whole strategy you use to get that information out there.
This brings us to the most important rule of the game, speaking your audience's language. Honestly, if you can master this one thing, everything else we talk about is going to fall right into place. It's the foundation for everything.
So what's the goal? It's to find and use an authentic voice. Now, this isn't about faking a personality or creating some kind of character. No, it's about adapting your own genuine style so that it really hits home with your specific audience, making them feel like you are talking directly to them and maybe even for them.
Okay, so how do you find that voice? Well, it starts with understanding their jargon. Think about it. Every single community, whether it's software developers or professional chefs, has its own unique language, its own shorthand. When you use their specific terms and use them the right way, it's like a secret handshake. It signals you're one of them.
But it goes even deeper than jargon. The source material uses this fantastic word for it, twang. This is the unique flavor of how a community talks. It's their inside jokes, their metaphors, the way they see the world. It's the difference between saying something corporate like, let's synergize our deliverables, and just saying, hey, let's get this done. When you can capture that twang, your writing goes from just being okay to being truly connected.
Now, let's take these ideas and apply them to a situation that, let's be honest, is pretty high stakes: crisis communication. We're going to look at what to do when negative feedback doesn't just come to you privately, but it goes public.
Just imagine that feeling for a second. You open up your company's social media, and there it is, a really angry tweet about your product, and it's starting to get traction. Your first instinct might be to get defensive, or maybe just delete it and hope it goes away. But panic? That is not a plan. This is exactly why you need a framework ready to go.
And that framework is called HEAR. It's a simple acronym which is perfect for a stressful moment. First, you really hear the complaint. Don't just skim it. Next, you empathize. Show them you get why they're frustrated. Third, you apologize and you own it. And finally, you pivot to resolve the problem. Let's see what that looks like.
This right here is a perfect example of the HEAR framework in action. So, sorry to hear about your experience. Boom, that's hearing and apologizing. We'd like to make this right. That's the clear move to resolve. It's a textbook response that de-escalates the whole situation and, believe it or not, can actually turn an angry critic into a loyal fan.
Okay, so we've handled the angry customer, but what about the weird one? Let's talk about how you should respond to those strange, sometimes impossible requests that just leave you scratching your head.
For these kinds of situations, we have another handy framework, the CLEAR approach. First, you clarify. Make sure you actually understand what they're asking. Then you listen for the real need behind the strange request. You evaluate if it's even possible. You articulate your response clearly and professionally. And finally, you either resolve it or you redirect them to a better solution.
This example is just perfect. I mean, a pocket-sized, solar-powered desktop? That's not happening. But instead of just saying no, look what they do. They listen for the underlying needs: portability, energy efficiency, and they redirect the person to a real product that meets those needs. That is how you stay helpful, even when the answer has to be no.
So, we've talked about the big picture strategy. Now let's zoom way in to the tiny little details that can have a huge impact on your professional credibility. Yep, it's time to talk about punctuation.
First up, the semicolon. It scares a lot of people, but the rule here is actually pretty simple. When you have two complete sentences, and you're connecting them with a word like therefore or however, the semicolon goes before that word and the comma goes after. It creates this really smooth, sophisticated link between the two ideas.
Next up, the colon. The number one mistake, which you see on the left, is putting a colon right after a verb like are or include. Here's the simple rule. The part of the sentence that comes before the colon has to be a complete sentence all on its own. The example on the right nails it, creating a nice formal introduction to that list.
So let's just lock in these pro tips. Semicolons join two related complete sentences. Colons introduce things like lists or big quotes. And maybe the most important tip of all, don't overdo it. Use sparingly, they make you look sharp. Used all over the place, they just make your writing messy.
Phew, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's wrap this all up and put these ideas together into your new Strategic Writer's Toolkit.
Here are the 4 big takeaways. Number 1, connect with people by adopting their unique jargon and twang. 2, handle angry feedback like a pro with the HERE framework. 3, navigate those weird requests with the clear approach. And 4, boost your credibility by using punctuation with purpose.
Because really, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Strategic writing isn't just about being clear. It's about creating a connection. You're not just throwing information at someone. You're building a bridge. And learning how to do that, well, that's a skill that can change everything.